The book of Proverbs. The author of the book is Solomon. Proverbs 25, chapter 25, verse 1. And he has added to his collection, 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 32, some sayings of Lemuel and Agar, Proverbs 30, chapter 1, Proverbs chapter 30, verse 1, and chapter 31, verse 1. This is given critical scholarship, some cause for gnat straining, and has led many to believe the book is a collection of random authors with Solomon's name attached. But anybody who studies the Alexandrian cult has heard this name, song and dance before. See Appendix 8 on higher criticisms. Oh, that's a good. We should do that one of these times. Go over the appendix. It's hilarious. Most of the book was written about 1,000 years before Christ. It is part of the Old Testament called the Wisdom books. That's why I'm reading them. Pass some Old Testament wisdom. Since the New Testament tells you that all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge are in Jesus Christ, Colossians chapter 2, verse 3, you are recommended to those books to get your wisdom. Anything in the entire body of the Greek philosophy, 800 to 100 BC, is true. Came from Job, Ecclesiastes, and Proverbs, written more than 200 years before Homer wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. Proverbs has 31 chapters, 915 verses, and 15,043 words. The word Proverbs itself has within it the meanings of 1, to make something like something, 2, to have dominion, 3, to make a similitude or comparison, 4, to set two things in place side by side, since that is the exact way God reveals wisdom. Hosea chapter 12, verse 10. It seems that two little one-syllable words, as and like, will open up more scriptural truth to any reader than several years fooling with the original languages. Looking at you, Greeks. The Proverbs are designed to impart wisdom by comparing spiritual things with spiritual things. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, 13. You can waste a lot of time following the scholars who talk about Proverbs being composed of distichs, tristics, and tetraistics, pentathistics, and hexalytics that are synonymous, analytical, integral, progressive, parabolic, and numeral. A lot of big words from a man that has a doctorate, not me. None of the men who give this kind of analysis were able to expound Proverbs with any clarity. The book of Proverbs, along with Ecclesiastes, my bad, is the philosopher's book of philosophy. So Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, my bad, lived a lot of places and pronunciation is a little rough sometimes. Thank you, Chicago. None of the men with clarity. Yeah. The book of Proverbs, along with Ecclesiastes, is the philosopher's book of philosophy, written by the wise men who ever lived, the wisest men that ever lived, according to God who made men. God said that no man who followed Solomon would be as wise as Solomon was. When men professed to be, the Lord said, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 19, verse 25, verse 27, verse 29. This means that all philosophy, both Greek and modern, is just one massive heap of muddled nonsense by stuffy, egotistical, pseudo-sophisticated blockheads trying to imitate the wisdom of God. So calm down, eggheads. He made this book for all of us to figure it out. You ain't got to try so hard, bro. You ain't got to try so hard. In Proverbs, you were told to whom to go for wisdom. Proverbs chapter 8, 13 through 36. And what would happen if you got it from another place? Oh, snap, we're going to let you know. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22 and 33. Through 22 through 33. My bad. So let's hit you with a little bit of Old Testament wisdom. I usually don't do this, but I'm like, maybe I want to hear a little bit of Proverbs. So let's just start from the beginning. Chapter 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to whom wisdom and instruction to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equality, to give subtly to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. I mean, that's self-explanatory right there. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. So, if sinners are getting down and they're like, come on, man, let's get down, you got to say no. You got to be like, hey, man, I can't yoke up with unbelievers. I can't yoke up with sinners because I'm a Christian and I'm supposed to follow the path. Doesn't mean you can't have fun. It's just got to be a different style of fun. That's it. Christians get so bogged down and think they can't never have fun, but you can. There's nowhere in the book that says you can't have a good time. You just got to align your mindset better. When your mindset doesn't think booze and women are what's up, then you're allowed to have fun in other ways. Hiking, fellowship, studying, motorcycle riding. There's tons of things, farming, growing, playing with your kids. Millions of ways to have fun, and you don't need to follow the world to do it. My bad. Back to it. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners of thereof. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gate. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set out not all my counsel, and would not of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But those hearken unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet for fear of evil. Praise God. If that don't make you feel a little bit better about being a saved Christian, boy, or put the fear of God in you. If you're not, let's get ourselves right with the Lord. Thank you for joining me today in chapter 1 of Proverbs. Have a great day. God bless.